Hello, y'all. Well, you know, it's that time of year again, and they say that copying is the best form of flattery. So I got this idea from Barry or Larry or Jerry or one of those principal guys, principal types, and he has this little thing he does on a video. And so it's that time of year again for map testing. And even though I'm copying Barry or Larry or Jerry's video, you cannot copy on the map test. Just that, plain and simple. We just got to make that known that the kids cannot copy on that or they'll get ISS. We can't be having kids in ISS, then we have more makeups. Do you know what I'm trying to say? By now, hopefully, oh, I forgot to show you this. So this is Map Training 2020. By now, hopefully, you have already been on your Chromebooks and been doing the practice tests. You know, those little practice tests where it says practice, and then on that practice test, you have this online tools. I hope you know that that does not mean a hammer and a screwdriver. It's online on your Chromebooks. So the kids should be already practiced up online with their practice tools. Now, for test security, you can't have any cell phones. The kids can't be having any cell phones, anything to help them with the test, because if they cheat like that, again, they'll get ISS or worse. So we don't want to have that. So there's no cell phones. There's no Apple phones, Apple watches, nothing like that. We can't be having that stuff. So make sure that they don't have that stuff on their wrists for test security. And we have to have a lot of test security, folks. Lots of it. Hey, listen, if you're doing text-to-speech, you have to be doing it all year long. If they can't read, you got to establish that sometime about mid-year or so, not in April. And so we have to have text-to-speech people already ready to go. All right? Now, you can help them with your test, but you can only say one word, one single word. Now, that doesn't mean one single word at a time in a passage. It means one word. You can pronounce one word for them. So then you're also, you should have a manual that Mrs. Helms gave you in their cute little yellow folders. I don't know if they're yellow this year, but last year they were yellow. And your manual should be in there. And in there it gives you the instructions, and it says, say this. So that's what you do. You read the instructions by saying whatever it says in the manual. And also make sure when they're on the Chromebooks that they're doing the summative tests, that they're not doing the practice tests. And for test security, you got to make sure that you have everything covered up. So you take a little napkin like this and cover up any clues that you have in your room. Okay? All right, let's see what else we got here. Make sure they're using the username and password that are going to be on those little 3x5 cards that we've given out for the last 3 years. You guys should know what those are by now. That a username is on the password, or excuse me, on the card, and the password is on the card. It's not going to be Billie Jean at FestusEDU.com. That's not going to be their username, and their lunch pin is not their password. Oh my goodness. Okay. Also, it's really important that during the map test that you're walking around monitoring. Now, if you have a little magazine while they're taking the test that you'd like to read, it's okay to read that magazine. But you got to be monitoring the test. How can you monitor the test if you're reading a magazine? At least carry that magazine around with you. Just kidding. You really shouldn't be reading a magazine. You shouldn't be on your cell phone or on your Facebook page while they're taking the test. You should be monitoring the test, making sure they're doing a good job. Okay, now remember, when it's time to end the test, they gotta raise their hand. Be sure and tell them, raise your hand, and say, ma'am, I'm done with the test. Now, if the test is supposed to take 90 minutes and they've taken about 10, I know that they're not some form of genius or something, but you know, they have to take as much time to do the test and do it correctly. So it's very, 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 very important that you're around monitoring, making sure they're answering every question. And then after they raise their hand, then they have to review what's called a review on the test. And they have to go through every question again and make sure that they have every question answered. Now, they can press the pause button the pause button that's on their Chromebook. If they press that pause button, they have basically 20 minutes to go to the bathroom or do whatever. And speaking of going to the bathroom, could you make sure they go to the bathroom before the test starts? Like, you know, we want to rock and roll this thing at 9 o'clock. So make sure all the bathroom breaks are done, all the test tickets are passed out to your whole class, and we begin the test right on time. Okay, now if your Chromebook happens to freeze up, which it does from time to time, we haven't had that very much last year, but from time to time they do freeze up, and we have more Chromebooks this year, just power down, power back up, and try it over again. If that don't work, try a different Chromebook. If that don't work, then you can call Shannon. Don't call me, call Shannon. All right, like I said, potty breaks, they should all be done by now. Well, listen, I hope you have been very, I hope you've been very informed. Oh, what's this Chromebook doing now? My goodness. Oh, there we go. Anyway, I hope you've been very informed with our MAP Training 2020, and I hope you're interested in this. Hey, rock and roll this test. We're going to do awesome.